Ultra-processed foods are everywhere, on supermarket shelves, in vending machines, even masquerading as healthy options. They promise convenience, taste, and endless variety, but at what cost? What if your go-to snack is quietly sabotaging your health? Let's dig in. Imagine a factory line turning raw ingredient into ready-to-eat meals, snacks and drinks with dozens of industrial steps. First, manufacturers take cheap refined grains, sugars, oils, and isolates. Next, they add emulsifiers, stabilizers, colorants, flavor enhancers, and preservatives to make products hyper-palatable and shelf-life stable. They stamp on labels like low-fat, gluten-free, or high-protein to hook you in. These creations, instant noodles, breakfast bars, sodas, aren't just highly processed. They engineer to override your body's natural satiety signals, flooding your brain with the reward. That's why one bag never seems enough. What's hiding behind those glossy packages? For starters, high level of added sugars and refined starch, spike blood sugar and insulin. Then, there are industrial seed oils, rich in omega-6 fats, which can promote inflammation, artificial colors and flavors, may disrupt gut bacteria, and emulsifiers, soaps of the food world, can damage your intestinal lining, leading to leaky gut and systemic immune activation. Remember, these substances may be approved for safety when eaten in small amounts, but rarely have they been tested in the complex mixtures found in ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods don't just overload you with sugar and salt. They bombard you with a cocktail of hidden chemicals. Every emulsifier, preservatives, and flavor booster undergoes industrial refinement that can alter your metabolism in surprising ways. Take Cardigan and Kinetic in a lab study revealed it triggers intestinal inflammation and alter gut microbiota, increasing systemic markers like C-reactive protein. Likewise, certain artificial sweeteners cross the gut barrier and interact with the insulin receptors, paradoxically raising blood sugar despite 0 calories. And don't forget packaging. BPA and phthalates leaching from plastic wrappers, mimic hormones, disrupting endocrine balance. This chemical overload primes your body for chronic inflammation, metabolic syndrome, and even hormonal cancers. Recognizing that UPFs are essentially unregulated chemical experiments on your body is the first step toward choosing real, transparent ingredient instead. Blood sugar roller coaster, you bet. Ultra-processed foods cause rapid glucose surge followed by crashes, leaving you craving more in a vicious cycle. Bloating and discomfort. Emulsifiers and maltodextrin can feed harmful gut microbes, causing gas and bloating within hours. Mood swings. Some studies link high consumption to irritability and anxiety, likely through gut-brain axis disturbances. And if you reach for a can of soda or a bag of chips daily, your caloric intake can easily skyrocket without any sense of fullness. In a long-term follow-up of nearly 20 years, individuals with the highest ultra-processed food intake had a 28 greater risk of death from any cause than those with the lowest intake. Ultra-processed foods are a relatively new phenomenon in human history, exploding in the last 50 years. Research lags behind. Most studies rely on dietary questionnaires, which can report the actual consumption, and because these products change formulas frequently, it's hard to pin down which additives or processed are the worst offender. We are still in the middle of the massive nutritional experiment, with all of us as test subjects. Here's where this task gets serious. Obesity and metabolic syndrome. In a landmark cohort of 100,000 adults, each 10% increase in ultra-processed food intake was associated with a 12% greater risk of obesity. This food disrupts hormones like leptin and ghrelin, so your stop eating signals never fire properly. Type 2 diabetes. A prospective study found that people with the highest quarter of ultra-processed food consumption had a 15% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes over 7 years. High glycemic loads combined with inflammatory additives drive insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease. Data from the Nutrinet Santa cohort showed that ultra-processed food intake was positively linked to higher risk of coronary heart disease and stroke. Chronic inflammation raised blood pressure and dyslipidemia all play a role. Cancer. An analysis spanning 325,000 participants revealed that a 10% increase in the proportion of ultra-processed foods in a diet corresponded to a 10% rise in overall cancer risk. Notably, breast cancer. Carcinogen contaminants formed during high-temperature processing may contribute. Limit obvious culprits: soda, sugary cereals, packaged pastries, and salty snacks. I prime offenders. Read the labels like a detective. If you can't pronounce an ingredient or three or are more than five, think twice. Embrace whole foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, eggs, fish, and lean meats have no industrial additives. Cook more. Preparing meal at home gives you control over ingredients and portions. Be realistic. Occasional treats are fine. The goal is to shift your diet toward real, minimally processed foods most of the time. Ultra-processed foods offer unmatched convenience, flavor, and a shelf life, but every bite carries hidden risks: metabolic chaos, inflammation, chronic disease, and even premature deaths. We didn't evolve to digest emulsifiers, artificial dyes, and hyper-palatable flavor bombs. Yet, mega corporations profit by keeping us hooked. The good news: you can break free. Swap the packaged stuff for whole unprocessed choices. Your body and future self will thank you.